In today's video, we're going to discuss why investing with Yieldmax Dividends takes a successful state of mind to win and beat the markets long term. Yieldmax Dividends help us earn over $300,000 per year in dividends, as you can see below, and our performance value shows that we're beating all the indexes with our approach using Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance, and a little bit of margin. We're up 22% for the year, 21.81. The S&P is up 11, the Nasdaq's up 13, and the Dow's up 3. The Russell's up 3 as well. So we're beating all the indexes. We're up 22% roughly now, and also on a daily basis, we're up 3,000 or 0.28% if we're rounding, okay, 0.28%. If you look above, that beat the Dow, that beat the Nasdaq, that beat the S&P. So once again, we're beating all the indexes on a daily basis and on a year-to-date basis using Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance funds, which help us live the FIRE lifestyle. If you need help doing the same, email me for my e-guides at akintodd48@gmail.com. FIRE stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. And once again, Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance, they're not traditional, and they take a certain state of mind to be successful with them. If you look at the charts of these funds, they go sideways to down on E-Trade, but here on Morningstar, you see they go upward, left to right on their charts. Cornerstone is a 4-star fund, as you can see here. Defiance and Yieldmax funds aren't ranked yet, but these funds go sideways to down if you see them on their charts here. Okay, here's a chart of Cornerstone, for example. It goes sideways to down on its E-Trade chart, but Cornerstone here on the Morningstar chart shows that it goes upward, left to right. So again, it takes a state of mind to understand that making money isn't linear, okay? Look at Defiance funds. They go down terribly on their charts. Look at this 1-year chart. They're down significantly, but again, if you go back to our performance value, you'll see that we're up 22% for the year, and Cornerstone and Defiance are some of our largest holdings. I have over 400 grand in Cornerstone and over 200 grand in Defiance. So these funds, they go sideways to down on their charts, but again, on the Morningstar chart, they go upward, left to right on their charts. So this is how I'm outperforming the markets, and you have to have a certain state of mind or repentance. In the Bible, it says to have a radical change of mind. You have to approach dividend stock differently, and QQQY, it's a little bit more extreme. It goes very sideways to down, but it has this huge dividend, 71%, and it has 30% maintenance. So does Cornerstone. So 30% maintenance. Everyone's wondering why I bought more Defiance yesterday after the dividend cut. Well, it was mostly IWMY that had that dividend cut, and so I was buying QQQY for the purposes of that video, and QQQY has the 30% maintenance. IWMY has 50% maintenance. So I wasn't saying to go buy more IWMY. I was saying to buy more QQQY in exchange for TQQQ, because TQQQ, sorry, it's a lot of Qs. TQQQ is 75% maintenance. So I switched from TQQQ because it's a triple and it's at the highs and it doesn't have much of a dividend, and I bought more QQQY because it has 30% maintenance and it has a 71% dividend, and Defiance funds fall less than the market on down days. So it's like a safe place to park my cash. It's kind of like going into bonds from these triple leverage indexes. That's just what we were talking about in the past video. So these funds are 30% maintenance, Defiance and Cornerstone, and Yieldmag and Yieldmax are 50% maintenance. So you do have to own some Yieldmag and Yieldmax because they have exciting themes. Yieldmag is obviously the Magnificent Seven. So I like to own Yieldmax funds, but they have 50% maintenance. So I can't own too much Yieldmax, and they aren't fully diversified like Cornerstone and Defiance. So making money in these funds isn't linear, okay? Either is selling my options, okay? If you go to my options here, you see that we have to sell these options. We sell things to actually get into them. This is not linear, okay? You have to go backwards to go forward. So again, I'll sell TQQQ, an option on this. I make $3,000 for just clicking my mouse and selling a put on TQQQ, the NASDAQ, the triple leverage NASDAQ, and I have to then want assignment for TQQQ, which I do want assignment. So everyone's like, well, you're going to get assigned. This has a lot of assignment risk. Well, I want assignment in these indexes. Okay, these give us our capital gains that offset the erosion from Yieldmax and Defiance. So I need these leverage funds to give me more bang for my buck and to offset the decay from Defiance and Yieldmax once again. So you have to sell these puts to get into them. You have to sell them to buy them. That's kind of backwards. It's not linear. Okay. And also my margin debt. Okay, I use debt. I go backwards using debt to go forward with my performance. Okay, to get this income, this $300,000 in income that's coming from my margin debt largely, and that then gives me me more income because it's beating the interest charge on our margin debt. The interest charge is around 6%. It's nothing. So these yields of 20% plus in Cornerstone, Yieldmax, and Defiance, it's beating our margin interest, and we're going backwards a little bit with interest and debt, but we're going forward because we have all of this income to pay back our debt so quickly with. So I had to get my account up to a sizable amount. I had to get some loans. I had to work jobs. I had to sacrifice to get it up to a decent amount to where I could earn sizable enough dividends to live on. And then when I started using margin debt, well, the dividend base that I already had paid back my margin debt quickly. But when you use margin debt, you're also investing in more securities with more income. So you're getting more yield with the margin debt on top of the income base that you already had before you started with your margin. And that's how you're really snowballing your income to not only pay down your margin quickly, but to get this outperformance like you're seeing here. So this is like a runaway freight train. This is how we really outperform the markets. Even on down days, we outperform. And you would think with all this margin leverage, we would get killed on a down day and not outperform. But again, Defiance moves down less than the indexes on down days we've found. You can go see my past videos if you don't believe me on that. So making money is not linear, okay? You have to look at these charts with Cornerstone. Okay, Cornerstone, by the way, if you need help playing that, that's in my Volume 4 e-guide. You have to time Cornerstone around its rights offerings, okay? And that's how you really get ahead with Cornerstone. You can see here on this chart, it has a series of highs and lows, and you time that between its rights offerings to capitalize on its 20 to 30% premiums and its 20% dividend, and has a special drip. If none of you know about Cornerstone, you buy it up here, whatever the price is up here, it's dripping that 21% dividend down here. So we're really getting ahead with Cornerstone, but we have to play that between its rights offerings, which is in my Volume 4 e-guide. And then also we go with Cornerstone and Defiance because they have low maintenance, which is in my Volume 3 e-guide if you need more help understanding maintenance. And then when you buy my e-guide, you get free access to the Discord chat room for life, where we alert you of the Cornerstone rights offering announcement. We have over 1,000 members here in the Discord chat room pursuing the FIRE lifestyle who can answer whatever questions you may have on your brokerage account that I can't answer, and we're all watching for that rights offering announcement closely. So Cornerstone, play that properly, time it between its rights offerings. Yieldmax funds, make sure you sell at the highs, trim at the highs, and rebuy at the lows to offset erosion. I also buy those triple leverage ETFs. I sell the puts to then lower my margin, which still controls those indexes, but I pay down my margin in the process, which then gives me more premium proceeds, 50 to 60,000 in options, premiums, proceeds, to then go invest for higher yield elsewhere. And that's how we're growing our income to such an astronomical amount. If you need help selling options, by the way, that's in my Volume 6 e-guide. So making money is not linear. You have to reprogram your mind in order to be successful with Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance funds. All of these funds help us live the FIRE lifestyle, which means financially independent, retire early. You also have to have the right state of mind when it comes to margin, okay, and good debt, and understand that the rich use debt to get ahead. And so you can either not take this gift that you're given in your brokerage account, which for every $1 you put in, you get $4 of purchasing power. This is automatically granted to you. It's up to you to use this and control your destiny from here. But again, you have to have a successful state of mind. You have to reprogram your mind to understand that making money with dividends is not linear. And when it comes to the charts, you have to factor back in dividends and drips with Yieldmax, Cornerstone, and Defiance. When it comes to options, you have to understand that you sell options to actually lower your cost basis to get in and go long and really clean up on the long side. And then with margin, you have to go backwards to go forwards using that debt, but it's good debt. It doesn't show up on a credit check to banks, and then all the dividends that you earn from that margin debt just pay down your debt, pay down your loans, and give you more qualifying income for more loans from the bank, so you can keep leveling up your account faster, which again is not a linear thing. You level up with these loans like I'm doing, not necessarily with market gains, although these days gains that we're getting is always nice, and once again this outperformance that we're getting is always nice. So if you need more help doing what I'm doing, email me for my e-guides at akintod48@gmail.com. When you buy my e-guides, Discord access is free for life, and my phone number is free for life, so just keep this in mind. Also, if you like the video, click like or subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon, everyone. Thanks.